Hello again, John here, and in this part of the video series, which is close to the last part, but I'm not sure if this is the final video yet. We'll see. But regardless, for this part of the video series, I just want to take a moment to say that you can edit the template files by going to this part of the site underneath developer. This templates sort of side menu item here, and you can go in and edit them from here. And as you click on them, click save. That's how you save your changes, etc. But anyway, you can edit template files from here. But I did want to say that this is actually a very non-ideal way of doing so. The ideal way of doing so is actually to edit the template files using a text editor of some sort. So think Notepad, but Notepad is actually a pretty bad example. Developers, we like to use a special sort of programming friendly text editor, which in my case is Atom. So here I have the Housing NM code base. This is all the code for Housing NM, and this is how I actually make my changes to the template files, is through my text editor. It's a lot easier for me because it's dedicated space for making changes. Aside from that, though, the more practical reason why I'm bringing this up is that while you can make changes to the template files from the Expression Engine control panel, you can't really change the other things, including something that I imagine you want to change a lot, which is the style sheets. So style sheets, the styles.css. This is the part of the website that defines the aesthetic of it, the style of it. This is the part that defines what colors we use, what fonts we use, variety of different spacing values, like how we space content in relation to other content. All of it's defined here in our CSS folder, and unfortunately, you can't actually modify it in the template part of the website. You can only modify HTML here. You can't modify CSS. Now, we might be able to provide that functionality in the future by way of an add-on. That being said, some of these add-ons, the way they empower you to change the CSS, can create long-term structural issues. So I can't exactly say I recommend using an add-on, but at the same time, I understand the frustration of not being able to edit the CSS from the control panel. I just want to take a moment to say that probably the better way to modify templates is through a through a programmer-friendly text editor. In this case, I'm using Atom. It's free. And in addition to that, certain parts of the website, in particular the CSS, can only be modified here. So just want to put out that quick note that it really is better to do things using this approach. That being said, it is more technical, in that you have to set up you have to get an SFTP connection to the server, which is basically like you need to access the server itself to fetch the actual files, in order to make changes to them on your machine. There's a lot you need to do in order to use this approach, but it is a lot more effective. And certainly someone here in Expression Engine can help you get set up with that if you want to make those changes. But yeah, it is a bit more involved. But again, like as I said earlier, if you want to make CSS changes, you have to use this approach. For now, though, hopefully using the control panel, if you only want to make simple changes to the HTML, if you only want to make simple changes involving the template language, you can do so here. But if you want to get more involved with it, you definitely want to use a text editor, and in some cases you have to. Just want to put out that quick disclaimer.